to exercise pot control. In position, she can safely allow her opponent to barrel again on a lot of turns. If they did have some sort of drawing hand, they're not going to slow down. And there's also a lot of made hands that she is going to be beating. However, pocket sevens is not one of them. Bones now betting 425. Let's see if Rhonda goes for the raise now. I think this is sort of the natural street to take a raise line on with this hand in particular.
Great. You gotta imagine Bones feels very strong about this because it's just very unlikely that Rhonda would just flat with queens or kings. I think in multi-way action, so he looks like he's going for the kill. It's gonna be a min raise right back.
Yeah, he's like, if you're gonna click me, I'm gonna click you back. It's a little bit more than the min click, but it is a 3-bet on this turn. Full Badoogie out there, so yeah, Bones really feeling good about his hand here. Needs to dodge a king or queen. He does. Bones will win this hand at showdown, and I imagine we're making it there, as Bones will now ship it. Most likely Rhonda probably gonna snap call. Can't really see too many other ways about this playing out, but let's see.
We'll see if he goes for it all here with 3.3K based on our calculations. And there's just few scenarios where you can counter a player just saying like, well, you know, this player's clearly played it like a set on this board, and I'm just supposed to full top tier. Like, it just doesn't seem like for even an advanced player, it's a move that you can make, and she's going to have to make the call to see the devastating news here as Bones going to get a $12,100 pot with flop bottom set. Our early candidate here for the Yeti cooler of the night, and wow, what a hand here.
Yeah, 100% a cooler, and also just 100% no way that Rhonda can get away from this. Bone folds through to Rhonda. She's got a playable hand, suited wheel ace. She's going to play it as a call. Joe in the third blind will come along, as will JC in the fourth blind. So 4 ways to a flop. Jack in the window. 9-5 of hearts right behind it. So Joe and Trey here both flopping top pair. JC has second pair. Rhonda a whole lot of nothing. Checks through to Trey, the original raiser. He will bet his top. Joe puts in the call in a sort of dejected toss of his pink chip there with the head down. Perhaps attempting to disguise the strength of his hand, which is generally quite strong. Calls the 450. JC here, pained to let go of a pair, but it is second pair, and facing a bet and a call in front is going to be best served as a fold. 10 of spades here on the turn is going to give Joe a tiny little bit of additional equity, as he can make a superior hand with a queen now, as well as a king. Checks it over to Trey, and Trey can still get value from weaker jacks, such as queen jack, king jack, and any sort of random heart hands. So he will continue going for value. This looks like 900, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't think you are mistaken. I think you're right on the money.
Well, we'll see once we get it plugged in here. 900. Bet a 900 and a call. 5 of clubs on the end. Front door hearts miss. And Joe's got donkin chips, and here they come across the line. Sets his price, which appeared to be 2K. Yeah, 2K, and Trey is happy to call that one off. And there we go. Trey going to ship a nice, juicy little 7.4K pot.
One
right
pair
there.
hand in for 7.4K. So we've typically seen you got to get a pot that size. It's got to be a little bit something more to it, but.
Bones on a mystery hand. Jimmy here has a gutter. Christian backdoor wheel and flush draws. Trey bets 200, gets his 2 most reasonable callers. Well, I mean, we don't know what Bones has, so We don't know if he has anything to continue, and he does, so he is going to go for the check call here. 8 of spades, the Steam Dola special here on the turn. Bones checks once again. Board has definitely gotten a little bit more connecty. Queen 10 just got there, but no time like the present to continue betting a flopped set. Trey does continue 400 into a pot of 7. Looking to get called by any jack. Any jack is likely to continue, and there may even be some hands like 2 broadways, like King 10 of spades, something like that, that was looking to find a favorable card on the turn. And Bones going for the check raise here, so representing the Queen 10. King 10 of spades would take this line as well, I would imagine. Now Trey has to decide how to play this. He's going to just go for the call. Raising here doesn't accomplish a lot, because if your opponent has the Queen 10, they're never folding and you lose to that. And if they do have a hand that is a bluff, very unlikely that they will continue for another street. Harmless little 6 of diamonds on the end. Now with 3.7K in the middle, let's see what Bones decides. I think the most logical bet size here is going to be somewhere around full pot, 3/4 to full pot.
What in the world does Bones have here?
I mean, he's telling the story that he's got Queen 10, and given the fact that he check called the flop, that seems very likely. 10-7 of hearts, spades, or diamonds, definitely a possibility, but would be more likely to go for a check raise on the flop than a check call.
Sure.
So yeah, I think this is a Queen 10. Not too many people will find a fold with a set. I mean, you're so far up in your range, right? If you fold a set of 9s here, you basically say, like, I'm going to call my Queen 10s, except that you're not going to call, you're going to raise, so then you don't have any calls there anyways. So then, okay, what do you have? Your set of jacks? Does that qualify, right? Like,
yep.
But if you're going to fold a set of 9s, then it's like, okay, then I only call my sets of jacks. And given the bet size here, I think you do need to call wider than just your top sets, which, no, here's your 9. So, unfortunately for Trey, I think he's up against the goods, and he's going to just have to pay it off. But I do think that if he plays sort of, I don't know, in my little world of correct, yeah, he should just call here. It's such a value-heavy size. I thought that Bones was going to go a little bit more polarizing, right? The sure. Polarized bet, because he either has the stones or he's got nothing, right? So it's like I would have been more inclined to see him go for that. I mean, like 3/4 or whatever was going to be 3K, and he goes 2.2. So it's just like, please call me, right? It's basically saying to Trey's range, like, you can call me with your 2 pairs. Set of 9s is good. Set of 9s is good. Bones mucks his hand.
Oh, okay.
Set of 8s, Bones.
Yeah,
okay.
That makes a lot more sense. That I think he's surprised that wouldn't be a little tilting as to, like, come on, man, like, you're gonna wait this long. But I guess that's how convincing the bet was. That it certainly represents strength. Look at this hand. Yeah. Look at this hand here. Though.
Yeah, this is hand in the works as Christian waking up out of the straddle here. This was a what, multiple straddles up to, oh no, I take it all back. This was an open from Christian with pocket aces. That he was not in a straddle position. So open to 250. Joe calls in between. JC finds queens on the button. Christian has to decide what size to choose here. Joe is, I mean, his entire range has to fold unless he's somehow gotten tricky. But yeah, here we go. Raise up to 3.2 thousand. 2 more for JC to call. If JC calls, it's going to be a stacked pot ratio of just about 1. In fact, even a little bit under. And then the rest of the chips will go in very quickly. Yeah, that's the calculus that JC is doing right now. He knows that his opponent's narrowed his range down effectively to aces, kings, and ace-king. You know, the strongest players will mix in, you know, some suited wheel aces, ace-5, and you know, really make sure that they are well balanced to attack the stack to pot ratio of 1 type boards with less than, you know, the top of range. But JC is going to find the call, and yeah, I think he's gone through exactly what you just asked there. If I get a favorable flop that doesn't have an ace or a king on it, I'm not folding. And
oh no!
wow,
Gross.
this is pretty gnarly because yeah, set over set is bad enough, but this is a 5-bet pot pre-flop, stacked pot ratio less than 1. JC needs to find the queen of diamonds. It's still in the deck, apparently.
It is. It's still live.
And now Christian flopping top set with that stacked pot ratio being so low. This is where he could bet something like 1,500. Yeah, there we go, 1,500. And JC has really, I mean, everything is available to him. The only thing I wouldn't do is jam. He could min click or he could just flat call. I think the flat call is probably best. Like, if your opponent is on kings, they're drawing super slim. But the min click is also, I don't know. It's just hard to balance these things, right? Like, what are you going to min click with here otherwise?
It's just that the fact is, like, if he's still perceived his opponent to be on ace-king, then it doesn't necessarily want to give him a reason to drive the opponent out of the hand, but it's also... It's been an hour into the show, and we have already seen, like, 3 or 4 coolers tonight that would make a show. Is, wow, gonna put a king of diamonds here on the turn, which gives JC just a little hope.
Well, no, this is actually
Oh, yeah, for chop. I'm sorry, I'm an idiot.
well, okay, I mean, that's certainly true. And I guess we're just ripping it.
19,000.
Nope, twice. Running it twice.
He
gets
chop on the second board.
He gets a little piece. Wow. All right. JC bailed out for half of his remaining chips and a quarter of what's in the pot. So all things considered, this worked out like kind of. I mean, you know, it's hard to say that it worked out well for JC when he just got freaking Omega coolered. But the fact that he gets to keep half of his remaining stack and get a quarter of the pot back is a positive result, given the fact that he was just way up against it.
I think his face is like a meme right now. That is the look of a player who just had to experience an absolutely gross one. Christian going to get 3/4 of the enchilada.
Win.